Tuesday, everyone. Happy Mars Day, or whenever you are watching this. I'm going to dive right in. I'm getting into a very light energy today, much lighter than yesterday, so a lot lighter, a lot more positive, and I really, really am happy for that because I've been connecting to some very heavy energies recently, so it's nice for a little refreshing break. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Yeah, let's just get into it. The channeled song that I got for today was Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield, which is crazy. I haven't heard that song since I was, I don't even know, a teenager. So tapping into that was weird. The numbers 311, 511, 1414, 1111, 123, a white tiger, Black Panther, a finch, Archangel Michael came through, Juniper came through, and someone just bought new shoes. How this all relates, I don't know, but let's just see. Let's just go with it and see how it works. So I'm going to get into the dice here and figure out what the collective needs to know, what house we're doing our reading on today, as well as what sign it's in. We currently have the house of career and reputation for the number 10. Number 10 for career and reputation. And then we have it in the sign of Taurus. Oh, very nice. Taurus for the number 2. So this will be in regards to career and reputation in the sign of Taurus. It's actually a beautiful placement. So that's funny because we just went into a Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. So that will be interesting to see how that plays in with career and reputation because Jupiter is the planet of abundance. I'm just pulling out my runes here so that I can get into some more detail to figure out what exactly is going on with the house of career and reputation in Taurus. Taurus is a very fixed sign. They're very grounded. So I don't really see, it just feels like good vibes here. But the numbers I got earlier, I got personal growth, creativity, a better future, achieving peace and joy, manifestation, progression, and steps. And that's awesome because today is November 11th for Memorial Day. And seeing 1111 on November 11th is crazy because that's the number of manifestation. So that's really cool. So we have here Urus for strength. We have Othala for legacy. I think of this as the ancestors as well. So that's interesting. Ancestral strength, ancestral legacy. And then we have Evas for partnership. Partnering with the ancestors, perhaps? Finding some strength here in our career and reputation. Let's get into charms. A little more details because I'm nosy. Hello, welcome in. I'm pulling some charms here. See who we get. Oh, there's definitely the ancestors came back out. I've been getting a lot of heavy ancestral signs lately. So the little angel charm for ancestors, the little bell charm. So in spirituality and mysticisms, bells are used to clear out negative energies. So clearing out negativity, negative energies. And then we have the crystal ball here for intuition. So that's really interesting. So around career and reputation, we have ancestral strength, like a partnership with the ancestors for strength. It's like asking them to give you strength in this area. So very, very interesting. Yeah, that also pairs in well with the animals I got earlier with the white tiger and the black panther and the finch. The white tiger represents divine protection and power. Black panther represents rebirth. And then the finch is often like messengers from spirit, and it also represents joyful times. So that's very, very interesting. And I'm being called to grab this tarot deck right here, this beautiful, beautiful soul tarot. For the first part of our reading here, I want to know what's going on with my collective today. What's going on with the collective today? A lot of lighter energy. And I got Juniper, so more on that protection and strength and purification. Getting new shoes too, that's like off to a new start, because your shoes are an extremely important part of your day. So that's so interesting. Hello, welcome in. Thank you guys so much for being here, for your time and energy, for all the likes, the support. Thank you. To all my veterans out there, my fellow veterans, happy Veterans Day. I hope you guys got something for free. 1111, yes. I hope you got something for free, that you're having a good day today. 2424 just showed up. 2424, interesting. That adds up to 12, which is a perspective shift, the Hanged Man, and reduces to 3. So communication and collaboration. What's going on with the collective today in regards to this career and reputation and the sign of Taurus with ancestral partnership strength? Thank you. So we have Temperance. Ooh, Temperance just popped up. So Temperance is all about balance. It's all about, in traditional tarot, it's an angel standing with 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on ground land. So like a little bit in emotions, a little bit on solid ground. And they have 2 cups that they're pouring into. Cups represents emotion. And it kind of gives the same feeling as like when you're trying to get just the right temperature for something. So it's like balancing things out. What else? We have a balancing here in our career and reputation. Whew. Someone might be having allergies at this time, especially if you're near juniper. You might have cedar fever. I live in Texas, I understand. Hi, R, hello. We have the 9 of Wands here in reversed. Oh, okay. That means we're leaving behind the being guarded. We're balancing out this guarded feeling. Oh, I love that. Yeah. That's part of this clearing out negativity. Oh my God, thank you, R. Yes, if you are new here, I just launched my YouTube channel, and it will be the full lives from TikTok put on there. Because here, since I want to keep it shorter, I like to do a recap near when I do the oracle cards to put a shorter video that's kind of like a summarized. But if you want to go see the whole live as it is right now, if you ever miss one, that's where it is on my YouTube. That's the only clickable link in my bio. I don't have enough followers to make my actual personal readings link clickable just yet. But, you know, if you go to the YouTube, you can absolutely click on that link there to go to personal readings. But that's neither here or there. Check it out. Thank you so much to everybody who's gone there and subscribed. You're great. You're awesome. Okay. And you've been working very hard with this beautiful 8 of Pentacles. So we've been working very, very hard on leaving behind guarded behavior. And we're balancing this out. And we're getting a little bit of divine help. I love this. I love to see it. I love to see it. Because sometimes when you're guarded, you guard so much you kind of block your own blessing. So seeing this leaving is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So what else is going on here? This wonderful, wonderful energy I'm tapping into today. The 10 of Wands. Okay. The 10 of Wands upright represents burdens and responsibilities. So we may have a lot of responsibilities at this time. Hello, hi. We may still have a lot of responsibilities at this time, but we are balancing things out. We're balancing things out. We're already working hard. We're letting go of feeling like we're beat up, we're guarded, kind of afraid to let new things in. We still have a ton of responsibilities, a lot of plates we're carrying at once, but there is a balancing coming in here. Yeah, with that strength as well, that strength from the ancestors. So it's like asking your ancestors, like, Spirit, give me strength. And they're like, here you go. This is a collective reading. I don't like to do personals on here just because I don't like airing out people's personal business. But if you do want a personal reading, the link for that is in my bio. It's not a clickable one. I know that's inconvenient. I apologize. When I have enough followers, it will be clickable. But if you go there, you can look at it and you can request a personal reading from me, and I am more than happy to answer any question you have over there. Okay? Here is a collective. All right. What else can you tell me here? So we have these responsibilities, a lot of pressure on our shoulders, but we're currently balancing it. So instead of feeling like we're beaten up and bruised from so much on our plate, or finding a way to delegate in some areas while still maintaining those responsibilities. That was a user error. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, things may be feeling chaotic lately. And again, today is the day when Jupiter goes into retrograde in Cancer. And what that means is that our emotions are a bit all over the place, especially with this Mercury retrograde also coming in. That can make our emotions all over the place. There's a likelihood of miscommunications, especially in the realm of, with Cancer, close friends and family. Travel plans may be delayed at this time. And with Jupiter in retrograde until March, that means that this is currently a time where we're kind of questioning our stability, what makes us feel secure. So we're a bit in our emotions. Things may feel really chaotic, but I do see with all this wonderful energy here that we are working very hard on balancing things. So we may have already intuitively tapped into this, not feeling like things are quite right. You know, this being in our feels one day and then being really high the next, and then in our feels one day, and we're trying to figure out how to return to center. So I have here the Seven of Wands in reversed. So the Seven of Wands upright is usually a feeling of too many unsolicited opinions, feeling like you have to defend yourself. In the reverse, that's leaving that energy. So I like to see that as well. And we have the Five of Cups here. So the Five of Cups represents disappointment. So yeah, it's like feeling disappointed in current, like how many responsibilities you have, people who have put in too many opinions, or feeling like you always have to be on guard or defending yourself. And we're kind of leaving that energy, but we're still in the grieving process a little bit of having to have put up with this in the first place. But I do love to see this balancing energy, this equilibrium returning. And this 11-11. I love seeing 11-11 on 11-11. Big manifestation. And today is the day of Mars. It's Tuesday. It's all about action and manifestation and just all those things. Motivation, drive, passion. So seeing that is wonderful. Absolutely gorgeous. I love to see it. I am not answering personal questions on this live. I don't do that in lives. I feel like what's yours is yours and should remain yours. If you want a personal reading, the link for that is in my bio. Feel free to check that out. I'm more than happy to answer that question for you over there. But I won't air out your laundry for everyone to see. That just doesn't sit right with me as a reader. So, what else do we have here? Yeah, in Taurus too. Taurus can be quite stubborn. So this may have taken you a long time to get to this point because they're the bull. You know, we tend to think that, like, especially for Taurus, and I've known many Taurus. Again, you're not just your sun sign, but that is for another day. The Taurus I've known, the several that I've known, are very much, when they come to obstacles, they ram into it. They don't move to the right. They don't move to the left. They don't even try to jump over the obstacle. They just kind of bash into it. You know what I mean? They tend to, yeah, it's like they tend to be that guarded, stand up, defend for yourself, which is great, right? But sometimes that can be more hurtful than anything. Sometimes you just get tired of always being on guard. So yeah, I like to see that we're kind of relaxing a little bit and deciding when we want to stand up, right? I'm not saying like when someone's acting sideways, we just kind of let them, but it's like picking your battles, you know? Picking when you actually want to humor them. Because honestly, people who try to give you passive-aggressive comments or something like that, they want you to react a certain way in order to validate a narrative they have in their head of you. So you decide if you want to react or respond to it. And I do like to see that. I really do. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your follows. I love to see you guys. And I really love this energy that I've tapped into today. This feels really good. Much happier than yesterday, that's for sure. Yes, so tell me more, Spirit. Don't be shy. Oh my goodness, okay. Yeah, King of Wands in reversed. What does this mean, though? Can you clarify that? I want to make sure that it's not like you're acting like this. Queen of Wands. Okay. All right, so we've been, welcome back, R. We've been balancing this energy. You see how it's a king and a queen, right? That's the balancing of the feminine and masculine energies within ourselves. Our ambitious go-getter need to go is the masculine. They're the one with all the ambition, right? They go forth, they charge in to complete the goals, and they tend to just like go forth without a single care about themselves in the process. In the reverse, though, that can become destructive. So that leads to burnout, right? The Queen of Wands is the person who's in their power. They're very creative. They bring things to life. They know that rest is also productive. So they're more the type to rest, to take care of themselves, to foster that inner creativity, right? To have that grace to take care of themselves while going after their goals. So there's a balance happening here, because if you're in your defensive, guarded energy, you would be in the King of Wands reversed energy. The King of Wands reversed is typically someone who feels the need to prove themselves. They forget that they're the king, and they feel like they have to tell everyone they're the king, if you follow me. It's the person who throws their weight around and says, you need to listen to me because I am XYZ, because I'm the king, instead of just being the king, right? I don't need for everyone to tell me I'm the king, right? And when they're in the upright, they're also a very motivated, creative individual who can go out and get stuff done. But in the reverse, it's like, I need to prove myself. So this balancing is in your masculine energy. We've already tapped into our more feminine side, where we're much more in this creative, having all these ideas, having these ambitions, and sparking that inner passion with all the red. But we are currently balancing this feeling of needing to go until we burn out. So I like to see this. This is great. Yeah, it's like accepting that rest is productive. 222, alignment, yes. So that's where we're at. That's what the balancing is, and that's why we have this guarded energy and this defensive energy here. Yeah, it's like we're kind of tired of always being defensive and guarded. It's like the work speaks for itself, you know? And if people want to criticize you for it, and you don't need them then, you know? But I like to see that, because we're balancing that. We're already in this beautiful Queen of Wands energy. Now we just need that masculine side to rewrite itself. 111, which you are working on, as I've seen already. We've already been making those adjustments. Tell me more. I see that sunflower here. So there's a lot more optimism. We're kind of looking at it more in an optimistic fashion. We're feeling a lot lighter lately, even if our emotions go up and down because of Jupiter and Mercury doing what they do. I see the incense smoke coming in too. So there's definitely a clearing of negative energy, and pairing with the charms from before. That's because your ancestors have come in and they're clearing things out with this little bell. They're clearing things out. They're helping you clear it out. Giving that fresh breath of air. Breath of fresh air. Anything else? Yeah, the Hanged Man in reversed. So there is that balance, and I said the Hanged Man earlier. So there's still a need for a perspective shift, or there was a recent perspective shift, because the Hanged Man reversed can mean either ignoring a perspective shift, like resisting one, which ties in with Taurus. That's funny. Or it can also mean, reversals can also mean recent past or internal. So we have either an internal perspective shift that hasn't really come outside for anyone else to see yet, or we recently had a perspective shift that has driven us to start balancing, or we're still in the phase of resisting it a little bit, but we're starting to get kind of tired of things always being defensive and guarded. So let's see. Which one is it, Spirit? Which one is it? Because it's such a positive energy. So it's like, it feels like we recently had a perspective shift. Thank you. The Ace of Pentacles. An opportunity has come up recently. That's kind of given us this perspective shift. The Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles is all about the 3D realm, right? It's all about what you consider wealth. So health, wealth, and home. So it's definitely, again, in career and reputation. There's a new opportunity that came in. It's kind of small, but it's kind of given you this perspective shift to start balancing things out. It may be a position that gives you more responsibilities, but in order to take that, we have to not become a tyrant with that King of Wands in reversed. Yes. So it's like, okay, I need to get my act together and not become the shitty bosses that I used to work with. You follow me? Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah, we have the Queen of Swords here and the Six of Cups as well. Okay. This opportunity could have come in from an Aquarius that you may have known in your past. Or it could have come in due to you being this Queen of Swords at one point, this fair and just person, someone being honest. You could have been offered this because in the past you were that honest person. You did point out the things that needed working on, and so you were considered for this offer, this promotion, right? Whatever it may be, this little Ace of Pentacles that came in. There was something in the past that you did that made you the ideal candidate for this offer. And we want this offer. Otherwise, we wouldn't be working so hard to change. We've accepted this offer, or we're going to accept this offer, but we're working on balancing the defensiveness and the guardedness, as well as feeling the need to prove ourselves and working so hard we lead to burnout. So it's like balancing out how to handle that. Anything else? Do you want to go into why they need to know this at this time? Hello, May. If you hear anything in the background, that's just my kiddo. Don't worry about him. He's living his best life. We have the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Okay. So it's like leaving behind harder times. Yeah, leaving behind the harder times, because now we're going after something that is going to bring us much more happiness. The Nine of Cups is the wish card. It's the wish card, and it's usually meant to represent like something that makes you very, very happy. So it's like maybe a position we really wanted was actually given to us because we showed up in a very honest and fair energy. And so we were considered ideal, and that is causing us to leave behind this original mindset that we put a lot of time and effort into, leaving behind whatever position this is that put us in this energy, and going towards something that we really want that brings us happiness. Oh, I really like that. I really like to see this. Very beautiful. Yeah, and with the Three of Cups right after that, and the Nine of Swords right after that, okay. We have, this is something worth celebrating, and it's pulling you out of this anxious, like, nightmare scenario, right? That's so good. Oh, that's wonderful. I love to see that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this little opportunity is spurring you into balancing that out in order to really leave behind these anxious fears and allow you to actually celebrate what's coming in. So I want to see, we have our what's going on. Now I want to know why they wanted me to tell you this. Why? And who? I'm looking at my tarot cards. I want to know which one wants to talk next. And I'm feeling the Mythos Tarot. Feeling this cute little deck. I pulled this out yesterday, but it wants to talk today. So let's hear it. So shuffle this. So I really love this. This is a really nice energy. This balancing out. Moving on in career and reputation. Interesting. Okay. So, why do they want you to know this? Why is Spirit telling you this? Why? Why do you want them to know this at this time? Oh, well, okay. Yeah, the Nine of Swords in reversed again. Because we're leaving behind this anxiety, this fear, right? This is the Grecian god of nightmares, Phobos, right? I mean, this energy is very self-explanatory. It's all the thoughts in our head, right? All thoughts and words, but we're leaving it behind, leaving that behind. So they're saying that you're leaving this behind and we're moving towards a brighter future, a better perspective. That's awesome. So it's like, even though we're going through this kind of moment of one day feeling really in our feels, feeling really in this Nine of Swords, and other days we're feeling in our Nine of Cups, this really happy, like we're flip-flopping a lot. And we're wondering why the heck, like what's wrong with me? It's because you're purging it. You're purging that. Yeah. Not that the future won't have its moments of anxiety or anything like that, but in this moment right now, we're purging, we're clearing these negative thoughts that tend to self-sabotage us in this realm, and we're moving on to the next level. Yeah, Six of Coins. The Six of Coins with Thea. Right? This is a very balanced reciprocal card. The Six of Coins is all about reciprocity. It's an equal give and take. So it's definitely more of that balance feel. Much more of that balance vibe happening. Why else do they need to notice? So yeah, it's just a rebalancing for you. And the Seven of Wands, Soteria. Seven of Wands, Soteria. It's interesting though, because usually the Seven of Wands is all about being defensive against unsolicited opinions, but this card is way more gentle. It's way more gentle. So it's kind of balancing that energy out of being able, instead of getting really defensive when someone comes in with their criticism, it's learning how to still stand in your what you do in your work and own it. Yeah, own it without dipping down to their level, if that makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, Temperance. Again with the Temperance, because we're balancing it out with Artemis. Balancing it out. So we're definitely just balancing out this energy. This is really beautiful. You've worked so hard on achieving this, and you're actually achieving it. And the fact that I got the White Tiger and the Black Panther earlier, that is legitimately your light side and your shadow side balancing. So that's beautiful. Beautiful energy. Why else do they need to notice? Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. The Knight of Cups with Morpheus. I love to see Morpheus. This came out sideways, so this could go either or, and that explains why you're having this back and forth. The Knight of Cups, especially in this deck with Morpheus, right? I love Morpheus. I work with him personally. He is a deity of shadow work and dreams, right? Absolutely gorgeous energy to work with, but he is very much in the upright. It means that you have these big dreams and you are going for them, right? You're worthy of your dreams and your dreams want you. In traditional tarot, the Knight of Cups is someone who is very romantic. They're the most romantic knight in the deck. They're definitely someone who romanticizes life. They have a lot of passion, but not like the fire sign passion. It's more like having a lot of love for something and not just drive and motivation to go for it. So it's like really loving something you want to do and going for it. But in sideways, that means you can go either or. So one day we'll be really, really happy about things. We'll be going after our dreams. Life will be sparkly. We'll be feeling great one day. And then the next day we'll be really moody. We'll be complete opposite energy. We'll feel like everything's hopeless. We'll feel like we don't really deserve to go after our dreams. It's a very, very different energy. It's kind of like the passive aggressive energy that comes in. So either or means that this is what we're balancing right now. right? This feeling of, I deserve what I want, I deserve my dreams, and I don't deserve my dreams. It's silly to have these dreams, right? It's silly to go after this position. I don't deserve this position. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, with the magician with Hecate here, we're literally going after it. We're manifesting this beautiful upright energy. We're working towards balancing the tendency to switch between the two. You might deal with bipolar disorder, the type that is, I believe it's type 2, the one that is very high highs and very low lows. I understand that. I have it as well, so I understand. This is definitely one of those flip-flop energies of like really high periods of happy emotions and then really low sad periods. So that could be something you're working on as well, kind of getting help that you need for it, medication that you need for it in order to treat it. So that could also be relevant here. Why else do they need to know this? But it's good that you're working on it. Seeing the magician in the upright is really, really good, because that means we're actually putting positive intention onto it. We want to bring changes. And I keep itching my nose on the left side. So yeah, tapping into our intuitive side, tapping into our more feminine side and going after those things, making those changes without really knowing why. We have the Ten of Swords here with Melpomene. So, explain. Oh, you might like Doctor Who. Can you elaborate on this Ten of Swords? Thank you. The Emperor. Okay. So, yeah, there may still be times of self-betrayal in the realm of burnout. Going until you burn out. The betrayal of taking care of yourself, feeling like everything else is higher priority than you, if that makes sense. It's kind of like overbooking your calendar, not really taking your meds, even though you know you should, not getting enough sleep, not drinking enough water, and just booking yourself, giving yourself too many responsibilities, saying yes to too many things. And that's kind of betraying yourself. Someone did not like that I said that. Betraying yourself, because instead of stepping into your ability to be the emperor, the Zeus, to be your inner authority, stepping into that actual power and being like, no, I don't have enough time. You have moments where you accept too much responsibility, because again, you're trying to prove yourself. I am capable for this position, instead of just letting your work speak for itself. Yeah, so we still struggle with this from time to time. That's okay. We're working on it. You're aware and you are working on it. Yeah, you're working on this big change, death. Death means transformation in the tarot. And the Black Panther literally represents rebirth. So you're definitely working on changing this aspect of yourself. That's beautiful. Balancing out that masculine energy. Yes. So yeah, you're being told this because you are leaving that, and this flip-flop you're doing is because you're putting in that internal work to heal this aspect of yourself. And you're wondering why it hasn't happened yet. You're in the middle. You're in the middle. That's okay. You're making good progression towards what you want. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting like that seesaw. That's what just popped up in my head, is the seesaw. 1 minute we're over here, the next we're here, and we're just trying to find that perfect middle. You know how like most kids, we would go onto the playground and we would try to make it balance as much as possible. It's that kind of feeling is what we're trying to do here. And I just saw 555 a second ago. So again, that change. The Nine of Wands just came out sideways here. And again, either or, right? So 1 minute, we're that Nine of Wands. That really guarded energy. We have our armor on, we're beat up, right? We're beat up, we've been through enough, we've got a wall here. And then the next, we're letting go of that guarded energy, you know? So we're definitely, this is our transition period. 1 minute, you know, we're feeling like our dream is worthy of pursuing, and we're out of this guarded energy. And then the next, we flip-flopped. My dream's not worth pursuing, and we're getting really guarded and defensive here. So that is what we're currently working on, and that's okay. That's what you're currently working on, and you have been actively working on this. And that rebirth is coming. That transformation is coming because you've already been working so hard on it. Yes, I see the moon here with Selene, right? That we're not quite sure where we're at yet. Things are still a little foggy, but you see the Eight of Wands showing up here with Atalanta? Things are changing quickly. You've been working so hard, it's coming in. We're just in the middle at the moment. And I know we hate to hear that because we want to know when. We want to know when now. But it's coming in quickly. There will still be struggles because that's just how life works. We don't heal all of our traumas overnight. And we may have days where we go back, but that's how healing journeys work. They're not linear. You'll make progress and then go backwards a little bit. But you'll still always make one little step of progress. And that's totally awesome. That's great. Because one step adds up. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. More steps, more progression. So you are actively making progress. Anything else on why they need to know this at this time? The world with Gaia. Yes. You're approaching the cycle completion. You're literally there. You're right there with justice. Yeah. Balancing of the scales. You're right there. You're right there. You've worked so hard. You're right there. Keep going. That's why Spirit's coming in with this strength. Ancestors give me strength. Spirit give me strength. It's because we have moments where we're like, is this even worth it? And Spirit's saying, yes, you're right there. You're right at the finish line. A lot of people, I heard this just the other day, and it's really relevant. Yep, itchy on the right. Man, masculine, got it. A lot of people will go into marathons. You'll see people run 5Ks and things like that. And they'll run all the way to the very end and give up at the finish line. Right? Don't give up at the finish line. You've got it. You're right there. Oh, and that makes sense with the Ten of Wands as well. Because the Ten of Wands is carrying a lot of responsibilities, but it can also represent getting to the finish line. It's like that last little leg of the journey before you can finally put the sticks down. So it's kind of like Spirit's like, you've got this. You're right there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have the sun here with Helios. We're right at the finish line. Right at the finish line before we get to that optimism, that like sunshiny thing. Leaving behind, yeah, 8 of Cups, leaving behind the disappointment. The 5 of Cups. This card specifically talks about Leth is the goddess of memory. So it's wanting bad memories to kind of go away. We want to forget the bad memories, right? It's leaving behind this desire to forget the memories. Yeah. And being stuck in the mental prison, right? The 8 of Swords is all about being in a mental prison. It's like being surrounded by this energy. It's one more sword before we get into the Nightmare card. So we're leaving that behind. We're balancing out and we're right at the edge. So they're saying, don't give up. You're right there. We're leaving that behind. And again, you'll still have your struggles as you go, but you're getting to the point now where you'll be able to handle it better. 7-11 just showed up, and that equals out to 9. So again, that's the number right before 10. It's right there. It's almost the cycle completion. We're at that last little leg. Yeah, so don't give up. Keep going, because you're right there at the end. 7-11 again for that confirmation. So yes, I'll do one more, and then I'll get into what you need to do about it. Thank you. Now, are you up or down? Up. Okay. The 9 of Coins. Now, this card is pretty self-explanatory, right? With Plutus. He's surrounded by his cornucopia of abundance, right? He's kind of chilling here, and people are just offering him coins. They're offering him abundance. The 9 of Pentacles, coins, is all about being in that abundant energy, right? It's also the card right before the 10 of Pentacles. You're kind of sitting in your garden, you're surrounded by your abundance, and you're right before the next step, right before the legacy, right before the huge wealth. But in this point in time, the 9 of Pentacles is all about being in your garden, surrounded by your abundance. The traditional tarot has a lady, and she's holding a hawk. The hawk has a blindfold over its eyes. So it's like covering the eyes, so not necessarily knowing where the end of the journey is. And there's a snail in the garden that points to a slow journey. So being comfortable at the pace you're going and having faith that you'll get there in the end, right? And that's the same kind of energy. We're already surrounded by it. He's just chilling. You know, he's just chilling, waiting for the next thing. This is a collective read. Yeah, so that's where we're currently at. We're at this last leg, right before the next chapter. So, which one wants to talk for the what do we do about it? We have our what is going on currently. We have our why you need to know this. And I want to get into what do you need to do about it. I'm being called to the traditional tarot, actually. So, what do we need to do about it? What do you need to do about it? Some of you may be humming. I felt the urge to hum just there. So some of you may be humming while you work. Interesting. Oh, that reminds me. One of you may have seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because that just reminded me of the song Whistle While You Work. Hello, Nikki. So we have our what and we have our why. What do you want them to do about it, Spirit? What do you want them to do about this information? Oh. What do you want them to do about this information? Huh. No. Shut the door, please. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant, interesting. Can you clarify that, please? Clarify the Hierophant, please? The Hierophant usually resembles or represents traditions. Yeah, it usually represents traditions, spirit, marriages, things like that. In the realm of career, though, I'm trying to figure out societal expectations, but I'm trying to figure out what they mean by that. Can you clarify the Hierophant for me, please? Because that's a strange response. Thank you. 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords reversed. Okay. So it's like, again, oh, I get it. Yeah, we had this partnership with Spirit here for strength. And I see that now with the 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles represents collaboration, working together with people. So Spirit's wanting you to work with them. Yeah, they don't want you to be lying to yourself or believing these lies that you're not. Like when you go into that energy of I don't deserve my dreams, I don't deserve to work towards my things, those are lies that you're telling yourself, and you're betraying yourself with those things. I have to work very hard and suffer in order to get by in life. No. Spirit's saying don't do that, okay? Don't do that to yourself. You don't need to do that. Just work with us a little bit. Yeah, don't do that. Work with us. What else should they be doing? What else do they need to do? What else? Yeah, work with us. Yeah, because you don't need to be taking other people's thoughts and opinions on it. You're already doing a great job. They don't need for you to go take from over here in order to get by. What do you want them to do about this, Spirit? I see these upside down cards popping up, but if it doesn't land here, I don't want it. Because otherwise, you're just pulling my leg. I like to think of that energy as like when you block someone, but they keep trying to show up in your DMs. So I'd rather it just show up here. Thank you. The 6 of Pentacles in the reversed. Oh, I see. Okay, so they want for you to get into the energy of receiving. What do I mean by that? I'll tell you. It's getting comfortable with the fact that you're working this hard. You may have a fear of actually receiving these extra responsibilities. You kind of have this fear of, can I handle it? Will my life get harder? Will I have to be even busier? Will I have to, like, it's being afraid of getting too many responsibilities. You want the paycheck, right? Because things are expensive. But it's kind of a fear of, will this be so overwhelming that I don't have a life to live? I'm just working to death, right? They want you to get comfortable with receiving and not feeling like you have to chase and give of yourself until you're exhausted. So they want for you to let go of the notion, the lie, that you have to work yourself into the ground in order to be successful. Yes. What else do they need to do at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah, that Queen of Wands. Again, right? We had that Queen of Wands earlier, which is what we're currently in. And that's standing in your inner authority, your inner power, right? The Queen of Wands knows exactly who she is. She's very, she has a ton of motivation. She's able to go out. She's very creative. She's very optimistic. She's very confident within herself with all this yellow sacral chakra energy. She's very creative with the orange, the yellow solar plexus energy. Very creative with the sacral chakra energy. And then she's very confident within herself with all that red. And she's also good with expressing herself with the throat chakra and all that blue. And she listens to the divine and her intuition with that black cat. Yes. So that's what they want you to do. They want you to get back into this energy, this Queen of Wands energy. Because right now we keep flip-flopping between being really guarded and defensive, right? We've been flip-flopping here, feeling like we have to prove ourselves, like we're not worthy of the respect that we are trying to get. They want you to get back into this, okay? They want you to get back into this energy, this ability of knowing I am worthy of respect. I am worthy of the things that I want. I am able to get it. I don't need to tell everybody who I am. My work speaks for itself. That's where they want you to be. I don't need to burn myself at both ends in order to get things done. It will get done because I did it. That's what they want you to do. Yeah. You don't need to prove yourself. No, your work will speak for you. You don't have to tell everybody. It's my personal belief that if you have to tell everybody what you are not that thing. You just need to show up and do it. That's just my personal belief. But I've learned in life that a lot of people will lie with their words, but their actions actually showcase who they are and what they do. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, the Lovers and the Ace of Wands. So yeah, getting that spark back. They want you to get your spark back. They want you to go back into this, right? Because if you overwork yourself, you lose that creative fire. It just becomes about work. Yeah, the 411. That's the information you need right now. Now, give me just a second. I need to censor these guys because they are naked. The traditional tarot doesn't care about nakedness, but TikTok does, and so does YouTube. So yes, I'm just going to cover them with my fingers for a second. But yes, the Lovers. The Lovers is all about the balancing of masculine and feminine energies. This is not a romantic read, so it has nothing to do with romance in this realm. When it's not about romance, this is all about choices. It's all about the self. Balancing our ambitious go-getter energy, that masculine energy, who's always in the material, right? He's not looking at spirit. He's looking over here at the divine feminine side, right? The one who looks to spirit, who follows the intuition, who follows the guidance, and is very creative and full of life, right? They bring the life, they bring the creative ideas. The masculine side brings the ambition and the go-getter. They're all the drive, right? That's how people are. But the feminine side is the intuitive side. They're the ones that are comfortable with receiving. They receive. the masculine one goes and gets it, right? So that's what they want. They want that balancing in order to bring your spark back. You'll notice on this side, what's the tree behind the masculine? It's on fire, right? Too much ambitious energy burns everything to the ground because we never have time to create. We're too busy going and getting things. We kind of forget about the creative process. The other side is full of life because we're taking the time to slow down, look up at the clouds, and like actually be inspired by things. So that is what we're trying to do here, is balance those energies out. Let me just cover them up because people be weird. There we go. So that's what we're working on. They want you to balance this out. And what I mean by that is exactly what they've been saying. They need for you to work with them a little because we had that Taurus here, so we're being a bit stubborn. That's why we keep going back and forth. We're working on it. We're doing great. But we still have that tendency, that guardedness, that defensiveness of, if I say that I've been doing this, I'm somehow wrong and my efforts are a waste up until now. No. Okay? You're not wrong. You're not bad. It's just something that you've been doing that is now harming you. It was great for you at one point, but it is now harming. And we had a card fall on the floor, so that's relevant. The world. Again, we had the world come up not that long ago with Gaia, the cycle completion. And I got to censor her too because her chest is out. But cover her up just real quick. But in this, she's in her power. I can't show you the whole thing, but let's see what I can do. Cover this. You see how she has 2 wands here, surrounded by the entire world, as well as the 4 different animals of power here, right? All the 4 different animals of power, the world, and having her 2 wands. It's a person who's in their power, the divine feminine in her power, that creative force, that balance, really stepping into herself. Now, again, gender in tarot is not about, you don't have to identify as a woman or a man, right? It's all about your energy. So you take what it is. This is all about rebalancing your inner self, your inner ambitious side and your inner intuitive side, balancing them out in order to actually achieve what you're trying to do. Really, really getting into who you are and feeling confident in what you bring to the world and not letting everybody else tell you what you are and are not. Yes. What else do they need to do about it at this time? Thank you. And yeah, the moon reversed. Okay. As well as the devil. All right. Oh my goodness. It really was every single card that I have to censor, huh? The moon reversed. The moon reversed. If we look at it upright, it is all about the moon shining a light on the armor that we wear in order to get through life. This crawdad represents the armor that you wear. The water represents emotions, so who we are in our emotions. The land represents our journey, right? Journey to the mountains over here. All this blue is our expression, that kind of thing. This dog here is our more wild side. It's the one that is our true selves. It's the one that we hide because we feel like it's not enough. It's too much. It's not tame enough for society. This side is our more domestic side. It's our tamed side. It's the one that follows the societal expectations, right? Both of them are howling at the moon. Both want to be heard. Here we have the 2 pillars. The 2 pillars represent our shadow and our light sides. They represent intuition. So the moon sees all. It shines light on all. It shines light on the armor that we wear as we navigate life's path, as we go between our forces of our true selves and our societal selves that we feel like we have to show up as in order to be accepted. Wolves and dogs are both equally awesome, so there's no need to feel like you can't be a wolf. And there's no need to feel like you have to be a cute little golden retriever in order for everyone to like you, because wolves are badass and they're awesome. Okay? Both are really great, so there's no need. It's letting you know that there is armor that you're wearing, that tough shell, right? As you go forth, and it's trying to get you to look at it. It's putting a spotlight on the armor. And we have the devil here. Let me just, there. This is all about being chained to our shadow self, self-sabotaging behaviors. Now, you'll notice that this looks very familiar to the lovers. That's because they're two sides of the same coin, right? It's the masculine and the feminine being in their shadow side. It's the self-sabotaging behaviors, as I just said. So it's the working themselves until they burn out. It's being the very toxic type. You see how he's got all those flames? It's like burning everyone else down as you go forth. The ambition to the point of burning bridges. And the feminine one, you'll notice she's not looking at intuition anymore. She's not looking for guidance. She's looking at the guy. So they're both looking at each other, but neither of them is getting actual guidance. Meanwhile, the devil's up here, has them chained to each other, and he's pulling all the strings. That's the shadow self. That's our self-sabotaging behaviors. It's the I need to work myself to death in order to get what I want, right? It's the I can't do anything, the passivity, right? Because being too much in your divine feminine can lead you to becoming passive in your own life, right? We don't want that either. You need a balancing. You need equal ambition and you need equal receptivity. There are times when you need to rest in order to regain the energy to go forth towards your goals. So they're telling you you need to balance this because somewhere in your armor, you're sticking to a shadow side. I've said this many times. It's because we're afraid to receive. We feel like we can't receive. We feel like we can only chase. So at some point in your life, you were taught that in order to get things in life, you have to work yourself to the bone. Otherwise, you won't be respected. That is false. That is a false narrative from someone who lived that lifestyle and projected it onto you. That's not true. If it was, there wouldn't be people who were literally born into a life where all they have to do is exist. And again, I say this all the time. The only difference between you and someone who was born into that life where they're literally paid to exist is you're in your meat suit and they're in their meat suit. That's it. That's the only difference. Otherwise, we wouldn't have underdog stories. Everybody would be where they're at. We would all be in a caste system. No one would be able to break free. No. That's not reality. That's not how that works. Anything else that they need to do? Yeah, I keep seeing this underlying current of that defensive energy. I know one of you out here is arguing with me. That's fine. That's fine. You don't need to believe me. You don't need to. It's your life, your decision. You decide how you want to go about it. I'm just here to give you this guidance because your spirit guides want you to hear it. Somewhere within you, you need this information. It's up to you if you want to listen or not. Now, 1, 2, 3. It's up to you if you want to take that journey and make those steps. So I already see you're working on it, which means you're already aware that you're doing it. You're already aware that you're doing it and you don't like the results you've gotten from walking that path. And I see that you're making progress, but we've been on the journey for so long that we're getting a little bit tired and we're wondering when it ends. And Spirit's like, you're literally at the finish line. Don't stop. You're right there. Yeah, that King of Pentacles. So yeah, it's getting in that grounded energy. I told you before, right? The King of Pentacles is the Empress's favorite son. Look at him. He's sitting down. He's surrounded by his abundance. He has his little pentacle. He's relaxed. He's not up out of his seat. He's not going anywhere. He's good. He's grounded. He's stable. He doesn't need to go chase what he wants because he's already got it. And yeah, there's that little Taurus, that little bull. It's on his chair. I know, one of you is so stubborn. I swear to God. But like, that's the beauty of it. Taurus is such a beautiful sign. They're very dependable. They're very reliable, right? When they're in their healed energy, they are very dependable. They're very reliable. They do show up. They go after what they want, and they make really good decisions. They're really good business owners. They know how to rule. They know how to lead in a way that benefits everyone, right? They know how to make really good practical decisions, and they're very good with their money. They also eat really good too. So like, this is where we want to be. In the reversed, if we were to see this in the reversed, right? This would be someone who is very stubborn. They literally just hold on to what they have. They don't ever change anything. They stay stuck to old ways. They take no new criticism. They don't change anything. And that's usually when their abundance goes away. Yeah. They become so afraid of change and so inflexible that they can't go anywhere. But we see it upright here. So they're telling you need to relax a little bit. You need to have a bit more confidence. Hi, Stormborn. We need to get more into the confidence that we are capable of getting these results, right? We're already reliable enough. We don't need to prove ourselves. Our work already speaks for itself. This opportunity that you were handed already proves it. Yeah, and that's the truth with the Ace of Swords. What did I just say? This is literally the card of truth, right? The truth. Clarity. There it is. Look at it, and it's got the little crown on it too. I'm telling you, you're already the king. You don't need to tell everyone you're the king. You just show up. You just show up. You're already reliable. You're already capable of things. You're already making good decisions. Temperance. You're already balanced. You don't need to prove it. Your actions prove it. You don't need to tell everyone that you don't need to tell everybody. Even if they come in and they criticize, okay, they have their criticism. All right, let them leave. Why does it matter? Do they pay your bills? No. Why do you care? Do they pay your bills? Do they pilot your meat suit? No. Why are you listening? Yeah. Get out of the victim mindset. Who cares if they have opinions? They're just opinions. They're not reality. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to tell everybody you're wrong and here's all the reasons why you're wrong. Just show up and do it. Move. Do the things you're already doing and let them look like a clown in the chat. You know? Yeah. You don't need to take on extra responsibilities. You don't need to burn yourself at both ends in order to prove that you're worthy of what you want. You just need to show up and do what you're already doing because you're already doing an amazing job and everybody can tell. And oftentimes the people who criticize you are people who, and I mean like not constructive criticism, right? I'm talking about the people who show up and they just say sideways things that are rude for no reason. They are afraid of you and you don't need to listen to them at all. Yeah, and the star. Yeah. Again, I have pulled every card that needs to be censored today. I swear. Every single card I've pulled today has been one that has to be censored. That's funny. The star. The star is all about healing, right? As you continue forward, as you continue to show up and prove that you are reliable, right? Just by showing up and doing what you're already doing. Because again, you've already been working hard on getting rid of this need to prove yourself, this defensive energy, this guarded behavior. You're already working on changing that. And it shows. That is the healing. The star is all about healing, right? It's all about healing this mindset. You're literally right there at the precipice of no longer being in this, I don't deserve what I want. I will never get this dream. I have to chase after it all my life. People will always come in and they will always tell me all the ways in which I can't get it. I'm going to have to defend myself my whole life and prove myself to everyone. I'm going to have to suffer enough to prove that I'm worthy of what I want. No, you've already dealt with this your whole life, and I see that you don't want it anymore. You've been working on it, and you're literally right there. Don't give up. Don't give up. You're right there. Last one, Spirit. Thank you. Yeah, that's sideways. That Two of Wands. In the upright, the Two of Wands is plans. You see how he has the whole world in his hands? He's looking out over the ocean with his motivation, over the kingdom, looking out at the ocean, going, what'll I do next? In the upright, that's no plans. We're right here. So Spirit wants you to make some plans. You have to pick. Are you going to look across the horizon and go, what next? What do I want to do next? Or are we going to stay? Are we going to stay where we're at? And are we going to continue to defend ourselves, never leave our castle? You choose. You decide. It's up to you. Yeah. Do we continue to stay in this energy of always feeling like everyone's out to get us and defending ourselves constantly, which just internalizes that pain some more and leaves us in this Empress? I can't create. I can't do anything. I'm just here to work and work and work and work until I go into the grave eventually. And that makes me moody and I don't like it. Yeah. Is that what we want? No. But it's your choice. Free will must be respected. If you want to continue that cycle, by all means do so. If you want to change, though, it looks like you're already there, so you just need to hold on a little bit longer because you're literally right there. Okay? All right. So I'm lighting some incense real quick. Oh, goodness. I just got some left ear ringing, high-pitched ringing. So that is confirmation for somebody. That usually means material realm. Material realm is usually left side. So change is coming in the material realm. So I'm going to do a quick recap before I get into the advice oracle cards. And this is just because I like to post a little goodness gracious, summarized video for people who missed the live. And then I will move into the advice. Okay, so just bear with me. All right. So you have been working very, very hard on balancing out a feeling of needing to be guarded and defensive in regards to your responsibilities. You are someone who is very ambitious. You work very hard, but at times this has led to people kind of over depending on you a bit. And there may be people in your realm who see you working so hard and they tend to just give you more responsibilities because they're like, oh, they can handle it. Oh, they can handle it. They can already handle this. They can handle it. But they may criticize you. Oh, you're always so busy. You never have time for anything. The never-ending cycle, huh? Can't please anybody. We've been in this energy of feeling like we have to prove ourselves of how reliable we are, how much we can handle. Because at some point in our life, we were told that in order to be successful, in order to be respected, we have to be really good at suffering, at taking on all the responsibilities. You can never take a break. You can never say no. You know what I mean? We know that this is harmful to ourselves. At some point, you got a realization that this is harmful, and you have been working on changing this behavior because we've gotten into our Queen of Wands energy where we are a very creative individual. We are very much confident, right? We're capable of a lot of things, but we have been a bit lost in the go, 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 needing to prove to everyone that we are the King of Wands. Despite already being the king, we need to kind of prove that we're worthy of our crown, if that makes sense. We, at some point along the way, our energy kind of dipped more into the I need to work myself to burnout in order to prove that I am worthy of this title. And you had a realization, oh man, I need to take a second and actually get right with myself. Right? And this could have come in the form of a promotion or some sort of opportunity being presented to you due to you being someone who at some point made a decision or a judgment call that was very fair, and very honest. And someone saw you as the ideal candidate for this opportunity or position, and they gave it to you. But that may have come with extra responsibilities. And you were like, oh man, I need to get my stuff together, right? Yeah, it's someone you knew in the past, could have been an Aquarius, but they gave you this opportunity because they felt like you would do well with it. You were the perfect person for it. And this is something you've been wanting for a while. Hello, hello. You've been wanting it for a while, so this is actually a really good thing. It's worth celebrating, and it took you out of your anxiety for a little bit. And you're trying to leave behind the feeling guarded and defensive, kind of needing to burn yourself into the ground. So that's great. We're in this really good energy, and we're just trying to balance out our lives. This could have taken a long time of balancing out these tendencies. But the reason that you're being told this is because the nightmare is over, right? This constant being in your head over it, it's over. We're getting into the energy of you're being given this because you deserve it. You worked so hard, right? You've been balancing out these energies, and Spirit sees you. They see all the work that you've done, and they are presenting this opportunity to you because you've done the work. But again, we have been going back and forth as we manifest this on this is what I've always wanted. I'm so happy. I'm worthy of this, to being really moody about it. I don't really deserve this. This isn't really for me. Life is always going to be like this. This opportunity is going to be more responsibilities, more this, more that. I'm never going to have time for anything. So the emotions have been up and down regarding this. And that's because we have a lot of betrayal wounds, self-betrayal wounds around our own inner authority, our inner power. Again, that feeling of I don't deserve my crown for whatever reason, because I don't work hard enough, because I don't have this, because I'm not this. That's kind of where we're at. We're working through this feeling, this fear of extra responsibilities, this fear of not being capable or reliable enough. But there is a change coming. We're still working through the guarded behavior, right? We're still working through the feeling really beat up and being guarded towards new things due to this. That is what we're currently working on, and we're going back and forth on whether or not we've made the progress, right? It's got us a little bit confused, but that's okay. This murky energy is actually, this is what you're supposed to be going through. You're in that in-between, but it's bringing in a very fast cycle completion. You're literally near the end of this transformation. You've been working so hard. We're just at the very tail end of it, that balancing of the scales into our happiness, and that leaving behind the desire to just forget those memories, that constant disappointment, that regret of all the reasons why you can't have this, you can't do this, you can't do that. We're finally leaving it behind. We're right at the finish line. Yeah, that constant being in our head about it. We're right there, and we're heading into that 9 of coins. It's that waiting in the garden. Waiting in the garden for that last pentacle to come in order to put us in that big abundance, into that legacy, that thing we've been chasing, right? And what they want you to do about it. Like, we're literally at the tail end of this journey. We're right at the finish line, just about to cross over into the next chapter. What they want you to do about this at this time is Spirit is asking you to work with them a little bit. Okay? They're asking you to get into your receptive energy. You need to stop telling yourself the lie that you don't deserve things unless you work really hard for them. All right? You're already capable enough. You're already a very capable person. You're already reliable. You already show up. You already have the passion. You already have the creativity. You already have it. You don't need to do anymore. You don't need to prove anymore. You've already done it. Okay? There's this balancing needed. We need to right up the masculine side, okay? We need to rest. Rest is productive because we've been going too hard. Need to balance it. That will put us back into our power of having the ability to go rest for a little bit and then come back and have all that same drive, creativity, and reliability. When you go too much, you kind of forget the creative process. You lose that spark. And that puts you in this moon energy again, shining that light on that little armor that you're wearing, where you feel like you can't be your true self and you have to always be this little golden retriever. But golden retrievers and wolves are both badass and they're awesome and they both deserve pets, right? Both of them do. There needs to be a rebalancing of this shadow tendency, and I know you're aware of it because I already see it here. So you're already doing that work. They're telling you to just do a little bit more, okay? A little bit more. We're getting rid of the victim mindset of feeling like everything's kind of happening to us, and we're stepping into our King of Pentacles. We're already in this reliable energy. We're already the king. We don't need to prove to everyone that we're the king. We just show up and we do the things and we're good, right? That brings the healing. And Spirit wants you to decide if you're going to make those plans or not. Whatever these plans are. Are you going to go forth? You're like at the end. This literally looks like a finish line. What's next? What happens after? You've achieved this goal, and they're saying, okay, you're right at the finish line. Well, once you get to the finish line, what do you want to do after that? That's kind of what they're saying here, right? Make your plans. Either choose to make your plans or choose to stay in this energy. You pick. It's up to you. Free will must be respected. So yes. Now I will get into the advice oracle cards. And I like the advice oracle cards, and I say this every time. So if you're not new here, I apologize, you hear this all the time. If you are new, the reason that I like the advice oracle is because they have sentences or words on them that kind of help you go forward to think on. And the ones I'm going to use today, I'm being called to use them. They also have animals on it for extra confirmations, right? So I'm going to get into those to kind of help you on your journey forward so that I'm not just giving you vague, ambiguous advice that you can't really apply to your situation, because we don't like that. We don't like that at all. So let's get into it, shall we? What? Oh, that's weird. This isn't part of anything. It's like a random card that you get from, subscription boxes that I think is pretty, but it feels relevant. Yellow here for solar plexus, more confidence, right? And it's 23, open to possibility. The whole world is before you. Oh, good night. So that's interesting, considering we just talked about how that guy had the whole world in his hands. So that's really relevant. And somebody here is definitely 23, because this is the only card from that deck I have. I don't have any other ones. It's just a random card I got in a box. So that's really cool that came right along with it. So someone needed to hear it. That's really cool. I love that. So on to the advice. On to the advice. I think I get this feeling right now that this is good for you to hear. Like I'm not feeling anger towards it. It's like it's what you needed. It's like that, like you can breathe. Yeah, 222. So someone here really needed to hear this because it'll help them to breathe, calm the anxiety. So someone really needed that. The dog! There it is. The dog. I wonder if they'll come back out. The dog and the wolf are both in here. Be interesting if we got it, huh? So, closing advice for my wonderful collective here today. Let's give them some advice as they continue forward on their path on how to apply the lessons that were taught to them today. Some closing advice for them in spirit. Thank you. Give with gratitude and grace with the turkey. That's so funny because it's November. In the upright, this is, it's pretty much give with gratitude and grace. In the reverse, it's a resistance to this. So again, that defensive, guarded energy. It's, how do I put this? Yeah, with the time to collaborate. When you meet people, remember that new people should not get the same exact treatment as the people who were mean to you before. What I mean by this is, don't view every new person as the same as the people who were overly critical and mean to you. You know what I mean? What do you mean by that? But that's what I mean here, is when you meet new people, as you go forth in your career and reputation, remember that just because there were people who were critical to you at one point doesn't mean that the new people will be the same. I don't understand what you're asking me there, Chadley. What other advice do you have here? This collective. Some more closing advice for the collective here. It's interesting because, yeah, it's like be open to receiving, but they want you to remember that it's okay to give. Just don't think everyone is going to take from you. Closing advice for my collective here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we have the squirrel here with believe in yourself. Yeah, so again, remember that you are already capable. I mean, let's be honest. Squirrels, all year long, bury acorns and nuts for the winter, right? They're most likely not going to remember where like 90% of their stash is, right? Come wintertime. But they still do it anyway. And they still manage to stay fed throughout the winter, even though they don't remember all of the places where they buried it. Same energy, right? You don't have to go at everything at 110%. You can just show up as you are. You don't need to be, like, think about it. If you ran everything at 100% all of the time, when would you, like, things would break so easily. You would be going at maximum operational capacity at all times. When do you take a break? When do you rest? You know? They prepare all winter long and then forget about the stashes that they hit along the way, and they still manage to make it. That's what we need to be. We need to be the same as the squirrel. Like, yeah, I'm going to put this around here, and more than likely I'm going to still survive because I'm capable enough to feed myself. Same energy. Believe in yourself. You're already capable. You don't really need to prove it. I mean, God, you're still alive after this many years. Yeah, and act as if. Act as if. 14 for temperance again. So even though right now we do have our tendencies of being very guarded and defensive towards other people because of past wounds, right? We're still able to act as if. So that ties into manifestation, right? You want to show up as the person that you want to be because inherently that's already within you. We just kind of got a little banged up along the way. Act as if. If you want to be someone who is less defensive and less guarded, then you need to show up as someone who is a bit more open to possibility. Yeah, you need to show up as that, even if it's you faking it for a little bit. Any more collective closing advice for my collective here? I'm like, it's okay if it feels a little strange at first. That's okay. Because you are working towards it. That is what you want to be. The things we aspire to because they're already inherently within us. We just haven't figured out how to unlock that part yet. In order to unlock it, you have to first learn how to do it. In order to learn how to do it, you have to do it. You know what I mean? It's so interesting how that works. The eagle spirit has your back, right? Again, with that 23, spirit has your back as you do this. They already have shown up so many times with Othala for ancestry, right? They already showed up with the angel charm here. They're already here. They've seen you working and they're here. Work with us. 555, work with us. The changes are coming. We're providing the changes. You're already working for it. I'll get it for you in just a minute. Can you wait, please? Thank you. Yeah, and take time out. Again, that energy. Yep, there you go. Hi. There you go. The brown bear spirit, right? With the number 9. So again, right before the cycle completion, take time out. So again, they want for you to take that time to stop burning yourself out. You don't need to prove that you can carry so much on your back. You don't need to take on all the responsibilities in the world.
This one?
I'll get to it in a minute, okay? Can you wait, please? They don't want for you to prove that, like, how do I put this? You don't need to be successful by carrying so much on your back that you become the number one sufferer, okay? Oh, that's interesting, okay. That's what they want. They want for you to take time to rest. Rest is productive. Nobody ever believes that. I sure didn't at one point, right? When you rest, you give yourself the ability to take a pause. That was redundant, but when you rest, you give yourself the ability to calm your nervous system, which then allows you to actually think up new things. You can't really think up new things without taking time to find inspiration, you know? If you never look up at the clouds, you don't get the chance to be inspired. If you don't look around you, you don't get inspired. If you're always going, 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 you don't really have the chance to pause and reflect, you know? So that's what they want. We're too much in our going, going, going. We need to sit back a little bit. Yeah, it's like taking a day to just rot. Someone just needs to bed rot for a day. And again, Taurus, listen, if you're a Taurus in here, I've gotten so much of this. You need to take a nap. You need to go take a nap, okay? You need an actual nap. Not like a 20-minute power nap. You need a proper nap, okay? Go have yourself a 3-hour nap and then cook some bomb-ass spaghetti, okay? Like, for real. Someone here needs to do that. But that's what needs to happen. Is we need that time to just pause. It will ground you and center you to be able to come up with those new things and to chase after your motivations. It won't feel like the journey is so slow and hard. Like, it won't feel like you're walking through mud. And like, think about it. CEOs and people in super high positions, what do sometimes? They take vacations. They actually go take vacations from time to time. And then they come back and they're right back to the grind. Okay? So even people who are really successful in those high-paying positions, who have a lot of responsibility on their plate, do take time to go recharge. That is needed. We need to do that. I need to remember that rest is productive. Yes. Yeah, 222. I know I'm right. Yes. Anything else from my collective here? Any more closing advice? It's funny. My kiddo wants me to do something, so he's kind of just starfishing on the ground over there. So I'm trying to give him what he wants. We have the coyote spirit in the reversed here as well. That's interesting that we had the wolf and the dog, but the coyote shows up. For 16, so the tower. Trust in divine detours. In the reversed. I'll help you in just a minute. Can you wait, please? Trust in divine detours. When things come up, when plans don't quite work out, when you have these tower moments, remember that sometimes these tower moments happen because better is coming your way. What I mean by this is spirit sees and hears everything. That position that you want that you may not have gotten, those people could be horribly toxic people who talk smack about everyone who works for them. And the reason you didn't get it is because spirit said, no, not me, not mine. Not my baby, not that one. We're putting you over here where you'll actually be respected. It's just going to take a little bit longer, right? So remember that. Not every single rejection is a bad thing. And sometimes getting this brand new promotion where you have more responsibilities isn't a punishment. You're not going to be punished. It's because you've proven that you're capable of doing it, and it'll be the best thing you can do. Yeah, it'll be the best thing for you. I'm almost done, buddy. Can you give me 5 more minutes, please? 5 minutes. Thank you. We have the porcupine spirit, right? The porcupine spirit. Time for beginner mind. So yeah, if you feel uncomfortable with this new position, if you're worried that you're going to mess it up because you're not capable, I want for you to understand that everybody who's ever been in a high position started out the same way. Most people who get into their positions have no idea what they're doing. You'll learn that the people who get hired weren't actually qualified for the position totally. They just kind of had to learn trial by fire. And again, the only difference between you and them is you're in your meat suit and they're in theirs. So you are perfectly capable of doing the exact same thing. 444 just showed up. So again, stability, security, foundation. That's what you need to remember. It's okay to be new at your position. No one is expecting you to be perfect day one, okay? Nobody. And if they are, that is not where you need to be. Because perfection does not exist. Progression over perfection, okay? Last one here, and then I will help out my kiddo because he's being so good. Thank you for waiting for me, buddy. I'm going to make him some cookies. Someone, go have some cookies. Go have you some pecan turtle cookies. Yeah. Have some cookies. Last one for my collective here, and then I'll close it out. One more minute, please. Yeah, the peacock spirit. Let it shine. So again, you see that? That's you. You've already got all of this. You're going to do perfectly fine. I need for you to breathe and relax, okay? Relax. Yeah, set healthy boundaries in the reversed. So, as you go forward into this new position, as you go forward, and you're kind of feeling like, oh my God, I need to make sure that I can handle it. I need to make sure that I can handle it, right? Remember, you can say no to things. You can delegate responsibilities. You don't have to hold it all on your back. A good leader also knows how to delegate, right? They know how to handle all the sticks. And remember, right, as you go, oh, this is what I really wanted, but I don't know if I'm worthy of it. You are right at the finish line, okay? You're literally there. You're right at the finish line. You're about to step into what you've always wanted, okay? And Spirit wants to know what you want to do next. They need for you to work with them in order to step into this position. You're about to become the balanced out King and Queen of Wands. Someone who is very confident, someone who is very creative, someone who knows how to lead and inspire others, right? You've already been on this long journey of trying to balance out that defensiveness and guardedness from people who did not believe in your skills in the past. But that's not everyone. The people who are going to come in now will believe it the first time. So instead of telling everyone what you are, show up as one. You're learning trial by fire the same as everybody else. So just show up and go, like, believe in yourself. Act as if, right? Believe in yourself so hard that you actually manifest your success. Okay? Be your own cheerleader. You got it. You can do it, okay? Remember to rest because even leaders need a break. And trust that sometimes things won't go the right way, but that doesn't mean that you're a failure. That doesn't mean that you're not worthy of your position. It just means that wasn't the right direction or you needed to learn this lesson in order to become a better version of yourself, okay? So that is all I have for you today. I really, really hope that this helps you. Goodness, if you want a personal reading, I do offer that service at the link in my bio. It is not clickable because I need 1,000 followers to make clickable links. But you can look it up in your browser engine. Up to you, right? You can see if I vibe with you, all of that. I'm more than happy to answer your questions over there. I also just launched a YouTube, which is these lives, posted fully, no editing, none of that. It's just on here. I put it there for anyone who misses it, so you want to tune in and see the whole thing. But you can go there, check it out. That is the one clickable thing in TikTok. They allow you to put those, but not your own links. But wait, please. Go there, see if I vibe with you. If I don't, and this is the last I see of you, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. If you're a veteran, thank you for your service. I hope you have a beautiful Veterans Day. I'll help you in just a second, please. If you've chosen to follow me, you're welcome. If you've chosen to follow me, you like my vibe, I can't wait to see you in the next one. I wish you all of the best luck, love, peace, happiness, joy, healing, confidence, all of it. And some cookies. I wish you that on your journey. Remember that life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.